Welcome back to the Weekly Hunt. I'm Henry, and I'm here with Irdi today. Like always, hi Irdi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm
I'm
good.
doing fine. The market went as we predicted last week. I mean, maybe we are lucky. Maybe we are friends with Michael Burry.
Yeah, yeah,
But we discussed AI bubble, and the short came in Sunday. The released short puts that Michael Burry had put, and we had a pretty significant correction. It's not a crash yet. We are in the correction zone.
yeah.
And yeah, we're doing pretty fine. I was out since Friday, and staying in cash has been the best decision this week. Uh, yeah, how about you, Henry? How was your week?
Very volatile. I had to. I took some trades on Thursday and Friday, so I ended up buying IonQ, QBTS, and those stocks,
Um,
which on Monday completely tried to do a rug pull on me. So I ended up pre-market selling a few of those, actually all of those. And then on the Monday and Tuesday, I ended up selling Palantir. I try to give them a chance, I try and give them a chance to move up higher and find support. I end up selling Palantir, Nvidia, Tesla, CRM. I was holding those companies, and then I was cash for a few days, and then I ended up buying Goodyear, PLMR, insurance company, and I bought Baidu yesterday, but I think I might sell it today as well. So there's too much volatility, and it's not very
yeah,
secure,
I
the
mean,
market.
even the option market has priced in too much volatility for what I've seen.
Yeah,
High premiums, high moves anticipated. So I've been in cash too. It's been pretty chill week for me actually. Just check the market once a day,
yeah.
see the memes, how everything is coping with the situation, and yeah,
Same with
pretty
me.
much this week. Well,
When I'm cash, I can enjoy my life a little bit more. I don't have to be in front of the
yeah,
computer, or if there's no
uh,
opportunities. But I will say this, Yudi. I think it's just an AI stock cooling off period. So we saw the dollar rising, but I think it's losing some steam. We've also seen all-time highs in gold. So I think it's just a broad market correction where I think we need some of these events to happen. And in crypto, for example, we have a $5 billion option expiry. So there's a number of things that are going on at the moment, and I was thinking maybe we can start covering some of the, let's say, global macro events. We can start talking about why Nvidia and Tesla are cooling off, and then we can go into what we expect will happen with the S&P, and then other global markets as well, because we're seeing Asia as well suffer in the last few days.
yeah. The global market has been following American market, in my opinion. We have the sell-off almost in every market this week,
Yeah,
even in companies that had nothing to do with AI, or as we've said, if AI does bad, which is carrying 80%, 90% of the economy, it will be felt in every sector. We saw sell off on pharmaceutical, which was straight.
yeah,
We saw sell offs on almost every sector, even in energy. I think it had a bit of sell off, even though natural gas prices are getting higher.
yeah,
Uh, I think, as we have said, the market is too exposed to tech. So if tech goes back, I saw I don't know, a video or maybe a tweet that said, yeah, people may invest in SPY and S&P and Russell 2000, but they are too exposed to tech or Nasdaq. So if they sell, even though uh, the company doesn't have a lot of biotech shares or a lot of energy shares.
yeah.
If I sell S&P to get in cash, everything sells off
Exactly. Yeah,
because too much exposure on technology. So that is the dilemma investors are having, in my opinion.
I agree. And I think another thing to add on here is, yes, AI is the next stage, but where is the money going to come from to build the data centers? And when are those data centers going to be built for the products to then start coming into the market and actually having a real impact? So I feel like
If you saw,
valuations are a little bit too high as well at the moment.
I don't know if you read about it, but OpenAI is asking for funds to U.S. government.
Yeah.
So that means they're running low on cash, and this probably will make a second wave of sales, maybe in today's open market or maybe next week. It might get scary
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
market.
You know, for me, when I see the S&P and the Nasdaq, well, I'll speak about the S&P. I see a pullback to around 6.5 to around 6.3, depending on how deep the pullback is, and that wouldn't be, necessarily bad for the markets. I think it's just profit taking and a bit of fear kicking in. So investors going into holding cash like we are, and eventually risk reward ratios improving, making it
Yeah.
a better environment for traders such as myself, swing traders, and other investors as well.
I mean, 6.2, 6.3 would be like the market didn't move at all year. It was in January, I think,
Yeah,
6.2. And if we end in December around 6.2, 6.3,
yeah,
it
exactly. Yeah,
means the market did nothing, while traders like us had gotten a lot of swings.
exactly.
April swing, which was great, or March short, which was great, while the long-term investors literally had a zero sum game this year.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, you're seeing that in crypto as well with Bitcoin
Yeah,
around the 100 level. It's actually down for the year. So if you look at January 1st until now, it's actually down, and it probably closes around that maybe down this year, maybe around break even with no gains. So yeah, long term investors are definitely suffering, and something that I covered last year was maybe we have a lost decade very, very soon. I saw that Goldman Sachs and these other major investment funds mentioned this. I don't want to dwell too much on that, but I think that's a key point and something that everybody should have in the back of their mind. That if we have this amazing run that we're having, eventually there might be a lost decade, and I think it's coming soon, and long-term investors will be suffering because they might be holding S&P 500 but gaining maybe 1 or 2% a year maximum, if that. So it's a real problem, I think, for the markets. And I think there is also a problem with too much heavy index fund investing and ETF
yeah.
investing.
I was going to bring that up, but yeah,
Yeah.
you go first, then I say my opinion.
No, you can go. I mean, I said my opinion there. I think it's too much, but then maybe you want
Yeah,
to add something
I
more.
think the problem with investment trust is getting to show this year. People, I mean, brokers make money by us trading.
Yeah.
So if they see a low volume of trading, let's buy and hold S&P or let's buy and hold Nasdaq, they see no profits. So in my opinion, maybe they thrive in volatility. If they see this year, for example, I started at 6.2 and I ended at 6.2, maybe a lot of traders will say, okay, maybe I should try more shorter term trading
Yeah.
and uh, play more with volatility, like swing trading, maybe. And this is good for the brokers too, maybe good for the companies to get more cash flow. And maybe we see investment funds starting to fall off. S&P maybe see 1% increase a day, but during the year we have minus 10% plus 20% waves
Yeah.
that can be monthly or 2 months to 3 months, depending on seasons.
Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely see that happening, and yeah, it's. I think it's we're in this kind of AI hangover now, right? So I think we have to
I mean,
Yeah.
PE ratios are insane. If you see,
Exactly.
Palantir was like 800, 900 before the short.
Yeah.
Now it's around 400 PE ratio, which is like the company would be worth 50 trillion if
Yeah.
it was real valuation.
It's interesting because the CEO went out and spoke. I think he was doing a
Yeah,
book tour, and he spoke, and he was like, "Anybody taking a short position on Palantir is insane. He's betting against a company
yeah,
that's really providing a real value to the marketplace, etc., etc." But in reality, everything has to go back to balance, and I think if the valuations are overextended like that, and yeah, it needs to come back down to some point. And it was
I mean,
almost a guaranteed
even
trade, right? It was a good
yeah,
trade.
even the biggest investors, I guess, of Palantir, the company is like 600% from year to year. So,
Yeah,
of course, they will sell for profit. It's
exactly.
normal to get some profit, lower the exposure, and yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think 150 is maybe the good zone to end it the short, but when it is a falling knife,
yeah,
you never know the bottom, and you shouldn't be there to catch it.
exactly, exactly. Right. I think uh, I mean, we can cover some of the data this week related to jobs, but that hasn't come out this today
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, something we can mention is a government shutdown that is for over a month now,
Yeah,
and it doesn't seem to be resolved anytime soon. And Powell said in his speech too that if we don't gather data from official sources, there might not be a rate cut in December. And looking this way, we might not get data for a long time.
mm.
We expected job data this week, and we had nothing.
Yeah, we
So
haven't
the
had it
market
yet.
is going blind in every direction, even for long or for short.
Exactly.
So it's kind of interesting to see.
This is what Jerome Powell mentioned. He wants the government to reopen, and then they can start making decisions about interest rates. So if this continues, it might become quite difficult for the Federal Reserve to make decisions on whether they reduce interest rates in December or not. The other thing I'm seeing here is a bit of consumer fatigue in the sense that we're seeing a slowdown in consumers. But I think I want to move on maybe to macros now. Maybe we can cover some like the dollar, bond yields, maybe gold a little bit. Just give our opinions there so the listeners know where we stand with
Yeah,
that. What is your thoughts on gold at the moment, and how do you see
I
it
mean, dollar, as we said last week, is doing fine. We had a sell-off, I think, this
last few
week,
days? Yeah,
which corresponded with that Monday early rise in the stock market, that
yeah,
immediate sell-off. Uh, I think the dollar will show strength, continue to show strength. People will more and more move to cash. It's more safe. Uh, it's the balance sheet of the year that needs to be ready, and pension funds, institutions take profit. So cash flow will be even gold. Despite market doing bad, we usually see a gold rise,
yeah,
but it hasn't moved a lot. So that means people are willing to stay in cash instead of investing in gold or in safer
yeah,
assets. So pretty much in macro, I think people are just going to stay in cash, chill, maybe until New Year, maybe until government has more news or uh, an arrangement between Democrats and Republicans.
yeah,
So people will probably stay in cash. People who are not heavily exposed are the happiest right now. So I think that will be even people that are in the market are probably going to pull off really soon for normal investors because institutions will just sell calls and puts to keep their balance sheets on check. And pretty much on macro, this is it. No global news this week, I think.
yeah.
We had no Trump speaking, I guess. It was a quiet week.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, we also, in terms of the global market, we had the UK central bank, so Bank of England, it decided not to reduce interest rates this month. So maybe that sets a precedent for the Fed next month and the ECB and all these other central banks. So that's something that
We
I'm
always see
watching.
you going first on this. They were the first to cut and the first to end cuts.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a sign that maybe US will follow soon.
Yeah. So that's something. With my opinion on the dollar, I think maybe we see a slight dip as we see sector rotation. So what's happening is we're seeing money flow from AI into the dollar, and then from the dollar into now maybe sector rotations, like I mentioned, these consumer discretionary items or businesses, insurance, like I've entered an insurance trade, and some other options that investors will be looking forward
Yeah.
to go more
I saw
defensive.
an article too that Deutsche Bank is taking swaps against the AI. So that's maybe something else to keep notice.
Yeah,
So another sign that maybe a bear market might be on the horizon, that big institutions are positioning themselves to be hedged so they don't lose a lot.
yeah,
That is the best strategy. We say you either stay in cash, close your positions, or hedge if you have the
exactly.
money. But
But
it's
yeah,
hard. It's a very hard time.
yeah, we're always trying to juggle between this industry and that industry, and be able to protect, well, not only protect our capital, but then also try and grow it. It's a difficult juggling game. Final thought for me though is gold seems like it's the real inflationary hedge. Crypto has yet to be that
Nice.
hedge that everybody wants it to be. And this is me gonna now moving on to crypto. I know you're not a big fan of crypto, but we'll still have to talk a little bit about crypto and where the situation is. Um, we have Bitcoin around the 101, 100 level. We have Ethereum around 3.3. We had that huge drop, and in the Discord group and in the Telegram community, I mentioned that we have a 5.4 billion option expiry on Deribit, which could cause some short-term choppiness. So it could continue being a choppy market. And I think that's maybe one of the reasons why we won't see a rise in the next few days in crypto. But then I think we're also seeing impact of the broader market sell-off. So when the market generally sells off, crypto also sells off, and there's no it's a correlation basically. There's a clear correlation there that when the
Yeah.
S&P sells off tech, then crypto also sells off.
I think the
Yep.
biggest misconception about crypto is that people see it outside of the market. Oh, the market is doing bad. I'm going to invest in crypto, while no one does that from big players.
Yeah, exactly.
They see it just as another sector. I saw a statistic that big banks don't devalue crypto, but they invest 1 or 2% because the volatility is so high
Yeah,
that it doesn't make sense for them to invest more than 1 or 2% of their funds to a volatile asset like crypto. I think the volatility of crypto was 60% on average,
yeah,
while of stocks was 50%, like 4x more volatile. So they play with less capital in crypto, and that makes the market less stable. I think that because institutions are players that buy and hold for 1 year, maybe 2 years,
yeah,
and that means if they don't have enough capital invested, the small players fight with each other on these small prices with leverages and stuff,
yeah.
and that's why we see a lot of losses in crypto, in my opinion.
I agree. I agree. And you mentioned leverage there. We've seen some liquidations, massive liquidations on the 10th of October. Then we saw this further drop here. And one of the things that's interesting with crypto is because I have the Telegram group, and I know that 90% of the people that are in the Telegram group are trading crypto. it's a clear insight into the market psychology. I know exactly what retail traders are thinking because I can see what they're talking about every day. And it's sometimes it's unfortunate that they think the way that they do, with this full optimism that crypto will come back up. There's no, the liquidations won't happen, so on and so on. It's a completely different world, in my opinion, than stock investing, where I feel traders and investors are a little bit more astute and they're more prepared for.
It's unfortunate because we've said many times in our Vegan podcast that it's not. I mean, I see on our Telegram group a lot of crypto names, and I laugh. I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we wasting so much money and time?
Yeah.
For following so many different coins, so many different.
I
Will
mean,
this
my
increase?
favorite
Will
one
this
is fart
decrease? I
coin.
mean, they are all one sector.
Exactly.
There's no point to invest so much time. If they
Exactly.
invested that time on maybe broadening their knowledge on other sectors or understanding how everything works,
I
they
agree.
would be more profitable, I think.
I agree.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, because they spend a lot of time analyzing these projects and coins when they can spend time analyzing companies and finding great stocks. I think it is what it is. It's a different world, crypto, and
it's a different world.
yeah.
I always get surprised by crypto bros.
Yeah.
Yes,
I will say this though: the 100 level is still kind of holding, and I think if it holds that level, then we can build from there. So it's a matter of whether what I want to see next week, and I think maybe we can lead on to this next section of the podcast, which is next week. What are we hunting for? What are we looking for? What are you looking for? And then I'll mention some ideas that I have as well.
Yeah.
And
I am still
themes.
on the defensive side. I'm thinking, weirdly enough, some monthly dividend stocks might be the play this for this month, maybe until the end of the year, just to accumulate some more cash because they don't move a lot and they stay stable.
Yeah.
And that might be my play. Maybe some oil or some gas stocks might be interesting.
Yep.
I don't see the impact because, as we've said, indices sell off because of tech. Even the Oxy or maybe VST sell off because they are part of the same index fund. So they don't reflect the real value, I think. The companies hold this season of winter, which might be interesting. Maybe investors catch up and we see a huge volume. This week was the cash week. Maybe next week is where the market wants to fund their money into. So will be fun to see where the volume goes. I think Biotech is my secret field, I guess, dark horse.
It's very undervalued. I will say that. Yeah.
I mean, Moderna is around 24, Pfizer around 24, which are pretty undervalued. They are trading near their PE ratio, so it's a good opportunity. Just like Google was 3-4 months ago, which was trading around 10 PE ratio, and now is around $240 from 160.
Yeah.
So we should see these kind of companies, in my opinion. What about you? I saw some ideas that are doing pretty well.
I mean, I ended up buying the Palomar Holdings, which is insurance, and I was looking at Chubb Limited. I know that one was bought by Warren Buffett a couple months ago, and insurance appeared as a theme for me. Different insurance companies popped up on my radar, and I bought that one. So that one's moving pretty well. Goodyear tires, I ended up buying that. But in terms of what I'm looking for next week, I'd say I want to see whether these AI stocks are going to find some stability, or are they going to break further down? Are they going to go through different levels? Because the moment that they find stability, then maybe there's another move up higher, and the rotation into these defensive stocks, like you mentioned, biotech, and the ones I'm trading, they might not move anymore, and they might pull back. So it's about where the cash is flowing and just timing it and being very cautious about building a portfolio based on the new wave and the rotations. One theme that I really like is gold. So gold around above 4K is interesting to me. I like Barrick, which is ticker B. I was watching that. And then I'm also looking at energy. So I like two stocks I was looking at yesterday were EOSE and NRG. I think those two can do quite well. Yeah, basically security, looking for more kind of sector rotation. And it might only be 2 or 3 weeks maximum. I think that they do well. And then maybe we'll rotate back into risk on assets. But that's mainly what I'm watching for. Any economic data that you're looking at, in the sense that
I don't know if the government will release them because we expected job data.
Yeah, and it didn't
I
come
don't know
out.
if we will have any data, but yeah, jobs are in my radar always.
Yeah,
Core inflation.
on the
I don't know what
13th we have
releases
core
next week.
inflation.
Yeah, and yeah, we should be careful. Options expiring. There are a lot of options expiring on the third week of the month
Okay,
usually. So something to keep an eye
I
on
agree.
the
Yeah,
choppiness the market might have next week and the week that follows, because a lot of people will close contracts and take profit maybe. So
yeah,
it might be a little bit choppy, especially long-term investors who had hoped for AI to do better. They might see a dip on their options because from so maybe they close some positions because of time too. So
yeah.
maybe it's a very volatile week next week.
Yeah, I think so, and I think we also have Nvidia on the 19th, which is not next week but the week after. And I think my final kind of comments on next week is it's. I also want to monitor the yields, so bond yields are going to be quite important. I want to see whether it keeps sliding down. The only thing with me is I want to make sure that I'm not buying. If I'm buying tech, I don't want to be buying a rebound, like just a temporary rebound. So I have to be very cautious here. We saw that a little bit with Palantir yesterday, where it moved to 190, just above 190, and then it just
Yeah,
sold
it's
off
sold
straight
off
away.
like
And I
it's sold
yes, and I remember
crazy.
telling you, I said maybe it
Like
goes up to
$15.
190, and then we can short it. We didn't get a chance to trade it at the time we were looking at options, but
Yeah,
yeah, just being
I'm thinking a
cautious.
lot of AI players are not falling as fast as I had hoped. So maybe there is some more option there, because
Yeah,
Palantir and Nvidia
I agree.
are the huge news. But maybe Oracle is looking interesting, maybe to short. Maybe AMD has increased like 100%, 140% this year.
Yeah.
So maybe a short to 200 might be in play.
Yeah.
So we shall see, I guess, next week how it opens, or how the day ends today too, I guess, because it's Friday.
Yeah, I also saw a tweet by Mark Minervini where he says he's short S&P 500. So that's a good sign for us that we're out, we're in cash. Maybe
Yeah,
we didn't short it, but we're at least protecting ourselves. So we got some big players saying they're short, and they still see some downside, similar to us in a way.
I mean, uh, I think there's something maybe for our listeners. Staying in cash is better than shorting, like
Of
90% of the
course, yeah,
time.
yeah,
So we are very happy on the situation here.
yeah, and especially considering that the S&P 500 usually gets bought up quite quickly. So if you're going to short anything, you shouldn't be shorting the S&P itself. You should be shorting stocks like Palantir that
Yeah.
that were overextended, or Nvidia not so much, but I think Palantir was more overextended than Nvidia.
An example I can give is like maybe this week we had the tech sell-off, and the S&P might focus all its budget to biotech, investing heavy
Exactly.
money, and we
Yeah.
see 0% decrease or increase next week,
Exactly,
and it's
because
all balanced out.
yeah,
While Nvidia is minus 20%, or Palantir is minus 20%
yeah,
for
yeah,
next week.
exactly. Right. So I think that covers everything for
Yeah,
this week and next week. Thanks so much, Irdi, for coming on the show.
thank you.
So, like we mentioned, the market's kind of going through these sector rotations. I will just give a quick summary here. We've seen AI drop. We kind of still see the S&P 500 dropping a little bit. So yeah, there's a number of things that we mentioned here that I think are useful for all of you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Drop us a comment below if you agree or disagree with us. We're always open to different ideas and different thoughts.
Yeah. The more ideas, the merrier.
Exactly.
We have a lot of ideas on our Discord, which are pretty nice.
Exactly. I mean, even today, you end up giving me an idea for the Polymarket, which is which could have been a big winner, but then we figured out that it's probably not a good bet.
It was a scam. The details, always read.
Yeah, read the fine
I think
print.
most people that took that bet had it read the part that it ends on July.
Yeah.
So the market wins. The market maker wins.
Exactly.
4 cents from the other bet and 8 cents from the other bet. So
exactly. So, yeah, drop us a comment. It also helps with the algorithm. Give us a like if you enjoyed the podcast, and don't forget to subscribe. If you want to follow me on other social medias such as Instagram, X as well, I'll share some of my thoughts there, and TikTok. The links are below. And then if you want to join the Trend Hunters community, where Irdi and I are there and always sharing some useful ideas, the link is below as well. Thanks a lot, Irdi. I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Have a relaxed weekend because you're not stressed about anything. You're not trading crypto, so enjoy your weekend.
No, I chill on the weekend.
All right, take care.